Hey, y'all. Welcome back to the Texas Wedding Podcast. This is going to be a really good episode. I just got off with Wright Shah from Diamond Affairs, and one, had a great time, but two, am blown away at how transparent she is and how honest she is and how much she really cares about investing in others and education and helping other people out. And I'm on cloud nine. I'm not the first person to say it on this podcast, but I think Mary is one of the people that we can thank for Texas wedding market being what it is. Like, she has been absolutely a leader in the industry for over 25 years now. And so it was so cool of her to come on the podcast, like such an honor for her to share and be a part of this. We talk everything from family to food and wine, early career wins, early career mistakes, like things we wished we learned earlier. It's honestly, I learned so much from doing this podcast. I know you will too from listening to it. My favorite part was that throughout the podcast, Mary was talking about the wedding she does, the way she does things, the intentionality that she pursues things with as she refines her weddings, cuts out the noise in pursuit of like a true luxury experience. And I think my favorite part is that when it comes full circle at the end of this podcast, we flip through a wedding that she did and just get to hear her stories about the day and why things were sculpted the way they did and some back and forth with other vendors to really refine everything and pursue that experience above anything else. So stick around to the end because you're not going to want to miss my favorite part. I will stop talking now. Let's get to the good stuff with Wright Shah of Diamond Affairs.
I say if you don't like this music, you don't be listening to it. You know I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, then you go somewhere but here, cause you know we're only losing control just for a minute.
We just got back from college tours, and
Is this the first round of college tours?
No, luckily we've gone on a few in Texas, but we haven't gone out. And so we went to New York and Boston this week. So our spring break has evolved into compressing a lot of tours in a small amount of time. It was not, my poor 13-year-old is like, can I go on another trip with someone else? Because
Oh my gosh.
we're like, look, Betty, you won't have to go back to the Northeast if you don't want to. So, if you really like it, then we'll go back. So trying to kill two birds, if you will. But because I have twins that are juniors in high school, it has switched the game right now. So
yeah, I bet. You say juniors in high school?
Yes.
This is crunch time. And good for them for having the opportunity to be looking in Texas and out of state and everything else. I know they worked really hard to get to that point to have that many opportunities. So
absolutely,
I know it's a lot to go on all the tours and do all the things, but you must be really proud.
It is. I'm so proud. They row crew, and so that's why they're looking really into the Northeast, and I'll be lucky if I get them in the South.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see. I'm pulling for the same airport. Let's just go with that. But yeah.
Make things a little bit easier with that. I have two boys. They're not twins. I don't know how you survived twin boys to start it out, but I feel like they're just growing up so fast. And so having this conversation, I'm already like, I'm going to blink and I'm going to be on these college tours and weighing the same things. It's wild.
Well, that's a really fun age bracket too, because their personalities are really developing. They're getting more confident in different things. So
they definitely have a lot of personality. Yeah.
Very cool.
Mary, thanks for doing this.
Absolutely. I'm super pumped. It really grabbed me. I think that the last few podcasts that you did, I just love the banter back and forth. I love just the very intimate feel of it, but also just the spontaneity in it and just having fun. It's really, weddings and events are just so complex anyway. So just to have fun talking about it is a pleasure.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I mean, that means the world to hear that you listen to it, and even more to hear that you enjoy it. That means the world. Yeah. My goal, it's always been for this podcast to be connection based. Like, so much of content, so much of social is, an efficient, like a reel here or something to grab attention there, marketing this or that. But this has been such a cool opportunity because it just gives a chance for connection, like to actually get to know the people on with me. So Thanks for jumping in so early on and being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Mary Wright Shah. I own Diamond Affairs, weddings and special events for over 25 years. I have been connecting and building relationships with clients over many, many years, but also seeing them evolve even after 25 years. And right now, the milestones that they're going through, they're taking me along on the journey, which is so exciting. So
Yeah.
our weddings have now turned into parties and celebrations predominantly, which is, I think, so gratifying. And I would still drop anything to do whatever they need. And I feel like they're not only a part of my family, and my family has seen them evolve. And so it's been a very cool process over time, and really continually educate myself on how to even be better than our last event. And because when you plan with a family for so long, you really got to stay innovative.
25 years. Congratulations. What a incredible milestone. I mean, I feel like I've heard statistics of most wedding vendors last like 3 or 4, maybe 5 years. 25 years is such an accomplishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Have
Thank you.
you, this is such a random question. Have you had the chance to marry like second generations yet? Like your first wedding from 25 years ago? Have they had kids that got married?
So we're almost there because I just in the last 5 years, I've gotten bat mitzvahs, bar and bat mitzvahs.
Okay.
I've gotten debutante balls.
Yes.
Like we're on the cusp of events that I did when I first started my company, meaning like you did it all
Yeah.
when you
Oh,
start
yeah.
out, whatever comes at you, you take it and you
Oh,
never
yeah.
say no. And so I did them all, but our business evolved to such wedding focus that I wasn't available for any of those other celebrations. So it's been cool to see these families that are these couples that have 13-year-olds and they have 16, 18-year-olds, and
Oh my
all of a
gosh.
sudden you're planning celebrations for them that, it's pretty cool. It's definitely very cool, but not a wedding yet from a couple that I actually no, there's been one or two of older clients. Yeah, older clients that
Yes.
that are second marriages that I might have done their first wedding. That's another. I have a lot of repeat clients, so that's a good sign. Uh,
Yeah. Great sign.
it's a good sign. And then their sons or daughters are getting married, and so I'm getting calls for to be a part
Yes.
of the celebration somehow. So it's been really exciting to continue on the party.
What a unique experience to be like celebrating and coordinating like generations of weddings. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. I mean, obviously there's a reason they want to still work with me and continue to plan a beautiful celebration, but it's just more rewarding to see all the family come together, and we've really been a part of some really magical things. So
Yeah.
it's absolutely rewarding and exciting.
What do you think it is about you and the way you serve your clients that bring them back for a second marriage, for their kids' marriage, for the bars and bats mitzvahs? Like, what is it about you or the way your business runs or the way you're serving them that you have such incredible repeat clients like that?
Well, it's building the relationship from the ground up. It's being there for them when they need you the most. I mean, we as planners, we wear so many different hats. Therapist is a big part of that. um, Talking them off the ledge has come across many, many times, but it's really also evolving with the families. They've seen me have children. They've
Yeah.
been a part of my pregnancies, they've been a part of baby showers, they've been a part of, all of my life too. And so I think that's where our friendship then just starts building. I mean, we've shared hockey tickets with some of my clients, we've gone on vacation with some of my clients because we just
No.
love them. Like we become such good friends
Yeah.
that we want to continue the relationship. But it's very hard planning a wedding and you're like, I'll never see you again. It's a good or a bad thing.
Yeah.
However, I think that most of our clients, we circle back. We There was one year that we had a family referred us over 10 times that year into the next year. And so
My
I not only celebrated that family who referred me all of those weddings, and they weren't
yeah.
just bridesmaids in each other's weddings, they were family, they were friends, distant friends, destination weddings that were not even in Dallas. Um, I invited all of those couples and those families back, and we took them to dinner the following year as a
All
thank
like
you because
12 people.
12, and it was just the parents. I didn't do the bride and grooms, which I regret now, but I did the parents because they're the ones that really referred me and
Yeah.
had this tight circle, this tight relationship with these other families and said, you don't have a choice. You have to hire Mary and you have to hire Diamond Affairs. So we just kept entertaining. My marketing dollars went back into my clients
Yeah.
or went back into the vendor relationships who brought me to a place where I am now. That's how I spend my marketing dollars instead of spending out in the past, instead of doing a publication or an ad. It would be circling back with my clients and how can I appreciate them and sending them a bottle of wine at their wedding, their first wedding anniversary, or the menu from their wedding and with a bottle of champagne that was from the actual dinner. Things like that, where the attention to detail for us has been, we really take pride in it. And the first anniversaries, the 5-year anniversaries, now has evolved into post celebrations, and Instagram posts and so forth. But
Yep.
it really was hands-on as I was growing my business. And how can I continue that relationship? And how do I make sure that they think of me first when someone asks, do you know a wedding planner?
Yeah.
How do I keep
Wow.
them how do I keep myself top of mind with my clients? Because those are the ones that are giving me business.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
And what I'm hearing from you isn't just like the strategic side of it of like, oh, I'm doing this so that I get this return. I hear and feel like a deep seated like thankfulness and appreciation from you for these people who trusted you and referred you and did so much for you. Do you, are you naturally like just a highly thankful person? Is this something you practice? Because I don't know, it just feels like it's exuding from, is there?
Thanks. Well,
Yeah, of
gifting is
course.
definitely my love language. Gifting is a huge part of my love language. Um,
I love that.
but the thought, the thought of it in it from a handwritten note, because it's really the smallest touch. It's a
Yeah.
handwritten note all the way to sending them the bottle of wine or sending them some of my Jewish clients that I really had fun with them on the dance floor. I record a lot of their hora dances, like from my phone. I'll,
Yes.
I'll record the
Fun.
hora because they're crowd surfing. They're like, it's out of control.
Oh, it's an
My
out of
clients have
body
a great
experience.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've recorded many of them, and so every wedding anniversary, I still have them in my phone. I will shoot out a text to the bride and groom and say, "Thinking of you, happy anniversary," and we'll send that video, and it's like anyway, it just
That's
reminds them that
incredible.
I'm here. It's like I
Yeah.
caught that moment. That was so exciting, and I was on the stage with the band doing, recording it or wherever I was because I'm short. Um, and I don't know, just to show them that I'm thinking of them, I think has really carried me and carried my clients through just reminding them that I'm here. I'm here if you need
Yeah.
anything, you
Yeah.
know?
So sweet. Not only that you remember them and it's something in the calendar, but that you care. Like you cared enough to pull up that old video and send it back to them.
So yeah,
That's
I
incredible.
love pulling up all that old stuff. It's so fun. I mean, the memories that we've caught on our phones. I had 2 of my planners that I have on staff created a folder in our Dropbox of just like all of these videos that they've all
Fun.
dumped in, from crowd surfing all the way to toasts that just were, I mean, you just can't make that up. It's so
Yeah.
good. And so we kind of have little snippets of things, which we should probably evolve into one crazy video. It would be really fun. Now that I think about it, that actually would be really cool.
Love that you were talking about dinners because it reminds me of a question I wanted to ask you. You spoke at WIPA in Dallas not too long ago. And when I was there, you were talking about the early days of Diamond Affairs and what the wedding industry was. And you were describing some of these dinners that you would have with vendors that you were working with who you really knew, like, hey, these are going to be long term partners. We're really dreaming together, building these relationships. Can you take me back to any like fun memories from those early dinners?
Yeah. Well, so I started having these dinners in our first home after we got married. We got married in 2001, and then we moved into our first home, and we had a red dining room, and I was all still 90s in my style, and it was all Ralph Lauren. Everything was green and red and burgundy and gold and like
Yes.
silver. And it just, anyway, I had a red room. So my dining room was like cabin red. It was the paint color cabin red, and it emulated just a perfect. It was a square table, which nobody had, and it ate perfectly. And my husband and I love to cook, and we love to entertain. So
Fun.
we started these dinners inviting all directors of catering in our market first. We invited at least one person from my team, and then the rest were maybe it was all at the time. Four Seasons Dallas was or Las Colinas was so big, and so it would be the whole team from Four Seasons, or it'd
My
be the
gosh.
whole team from the Dallas Museum of Art, or it'd be the whole team from the Mansion on Turtle Creek. And so it would be very special people that we would include that, you know what, I want to be on that list. I want to be
Yeah.
a part of the conversation when they're talking to a new bride and they know that the scope of the project, they think of me first. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to invite them into my home. I'm going to cook for them. I would hire a server and that's it. We would cook all day and, we'd
My
make steaks.
gosh.
And at the time, we're all in our 20s.
Yeah.
We're all in our late 20s and we're all still learning how to entertain. And like
Yeah.
none of us did. I mean, half of us still had apartments, and still paying for, our loans, our student loans. Like, I mean, we're all just trying to make it.
Yeah.
And so it was all about there was this really cool wine shop on Knox Henderson, and it's no longer there. But what was cool about that wine shop is that you could take a menu, the food that you were going to do, and they would pair all the wine for you. And it was
That is
great for
such
someone
a
in their
cool
20s.
service.
It was
Yeah.
amazing, and nobody does it anymore. It was so cool.
No.
You could just bring the menu or write, this is what I'm going to serve tonight. I'm going to do pork tenderloin, or I'm going to do enchiladas or barbecue or whatever it is. And then they would pair it with everything. So we would buy all the wine, and we became really big foodies at the time and enjoyed kind of creating a menu paired with wine, and we could all enjoy, and we're not having to think about anything. And the server would just bring it out. I'd have all the plates ready, and I would excuse myself. I'll go get the next plate ready, and they would serve it for me, which was great. And it was just the best thing I could have ever done. But
That is
I
so
wanted them to
cool.
feel like they were a part of our life. And then we just got to know each other on a personal level. It wasn't about business. Those dinners were not about business. It was about establishing a relationship with someone that I didn't know very well. And how can I be their best friend from moving on? Here moving forward. How
Yeah.
can we be friends so that this relationship, they know they have me in their back pocket, you know?
Yeah. Wow.
So those dinners were really important for us. And so as they evolved, they were in demand. And so we would throw one every month, and then we decided to do it every quarter because then my calendar started getting booked up a lot more, and I
Yeah.
had my business in my home. I was working late nights. I was a total night owl making it happen. And, all of a sudden we're doing 35 weddings a year and, you
Oh
know,
my God.
double booking wedding weekends. I can't even imagine. I've been thinking about these 25 years and how stupid I was. Like, because I would just take anything and everything. And I was like, no, I need, yeah, I can book
Mary.
2 to 3 weddings on Memorial Day weekend. No problem. We could totally do it. And then what I realized is that the quality of our work was going down. So we stopped doing that right away. It was like, nope.
Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
now we can only do 2 weddings. We can do a Saturday or a Sunday wedding, but I'd have to grow my team,
Yeah.
and then just making sure that I don't know, your quality of work was similar for both weddings. And what started happening was the larger the wedding, less control I had. And it was really, I don't know, the quality of service was so important to me. The high level of service, the high touch service has always been on the forefront for Diamond Affairs. And as we got busier, it started going down. And the more day of weddings we took, they were great and they were wonderful. But I had to really start minimizing those so that we could start focusing on the details and be more in control of the final product. And I found with day of weddings, we'd come in at the finish line no matter what they planned, and all these balls up in the air trying to make things happen.
Yeah.
And to put your name on something like that was exciting because it was a HPUMC and it was at Vercalo and, like,
Beautiful
yeah, I
wedding.
want my name
Yeah.
on that. But
Yeah.
then, then when you see the finished product, it was like, probably could have done without it or,
Yeah.
or grateful to be a part of it. But, it just, I think those day of weddings take a very special planner to turn and burn those and to have a consistent reputation of making sure they go flawlessly because they're really
Yeah.
hard. They're
They're
hard when
really
you come in
hard.
again. Yeah.
And I like how you said it. You just lose so much control because the starting point is so inconsistent when you step in day one versus when you're doing fewer clients, full service only. You are driving the boat and making sure things are happening.
Right. So then we just started evolving that day of package to like a partial planning so that we still had a little bit of control. Like, here's our vendor list. This is who we refer you work with.
Yeah.
You still have a choice of who you want to work with, but this is, we know that
This
you're
is
going to have
vetted. Yeah. This is the vetted
right,
list right here.
right. And then we'll come in and we'll wrap it up. But it's like, it was a kind of a partial planning process, which we loved those two. But I think most of our clients really ended up wanting that full service from the get go. And so we just evolved to that.
Was it a slow evolution or are we talking year 4 changed everything right there? You know what I mean? Or was it like
Yeah.
this slowly evolved over the first 10 years?
It was slowly evolved. And I felt like the bigger my team was, the more business I had to throw at them to keep them busy and I
Yeah.
felt like, I mean, we had our biggest planning year was probably year 10 where we had so much going on. And then I had to make a change because I realized it just was too much. It
Yeah.
was too much. So, and also we started getting at least one a year, $1 million wedding where that would take precedence over everything else. And those only come like once a year, maybe at the time, once a year. And now it's like every few years. I mean, I think people are really waiting to plan. They're also waiting to find the right people to build that team. And when they want to spend that kind of money, they really want someone that's completely invested in the process with them and not distracted by so many other balls up in the air. So it took me a minute to just figure out, is that my client and do I need to pull back on all the other things and start really focusing on just full service, just luxury weddings of a certain caliber, and then start making decisions from there. So
Yeah.
I had to really just take a step back and evolve and realize what opportunities we had. And do I want to keep exploring? Do I want to step out of the Dallas Fort Worth comfort zone and start doing more destination? I mean, having those kind of budgets allowed me to gain even more relationships with vendors and with venues and with partners that are all over the country, all over the world to bring in. And it was so exciting. So, so exciting. So, of course, you want it more. You want to keep going and keep doing it
Yeah.
again. And, you know, build relationships, but also build relationships and value the ones that you have right next door. Because what I realized in doing and bringing in from all over the country and all over the world is like we have some insane talent here too. And so it's making sure that everybody is represented. It's been really exciting and constant education on my end to see what's out there and to understand who's offering what service and who's changed their services dramatically, who's cut back, who's increased their prices, who's gone down in pricing, or who has more value, who doesn't have. I mean, it's just really, it's a constant education. I think every year I kind of have to sit back on the sidelines and really just reevaluate.
Yeah. Wow. And it's just so much to juggle. I mean, I've said this before. I think I say it every time we have a planner on the podcast, I have no idea how y'all do what you do, because the number of things you need to like be an expert in and know exactly what's going on to, like you said, not only within Texas, but now if you're looking at $1 million budget and they're interested in bringing people around the country to now be that much of an expert at that many location. I mean, I have no idea how you do what you do. It is
Well,
unbelievable
it's
to me.
relying on other. I think what's been cool about our industry on a world platform is that we are all ready to educate each other. And we're no longer hiding behind the experience. We're no longer hiding behind the name of our company, going, no, 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 I can't share my secrets.
Yeah.
We are actually more collaborative in the last 5 to 10 years. It is so exciting to see and hear so many planners willing to talk about, oh yeah, I did a wedding in Positano, and this is who I used, and these people were amazing. Oh yeah, you got to call this guy for lighting, but he's in Ravello, and so he's going to drive in, and like just knowing the area and understanding the options that you have has been really exciting to collaborate with a planner from New York City or from Washington D.C. or even Santa Barbara to help educate me. Going, okay, I got this incredible wedding, now you got to help me make it happen because I don't know who to
Yeah.
talk to over there. And
Yeah.
it's really bouncing the ideas off, and the endless referrals that are coming from it are great. And
And that wasn't happening, from what you said, that wasn't happening 10, 15, 20, 25
no,
years ago. I mean, this is
no,
all a big new change.
it's huge. It's huge.
Wow.
And I think the conferences, the education conferences from Engage to DWP to NACE to even Cater Source, I feel like everyone's talking. And how can we help each other out? How can we build each other up? And I don't know if it's after COVID, I don't know when it started, but I mean, it really built momentum after COVID because we all just tried to help each other survive, you
Yeah.
know? But being in business for over 25 years, I mean, I've been through 2 recessions, I've been through COVID, I've been through all of these things, and to kind of see who overcomes it and who's able to survive after the things that we've been through as small
Yeah.
businesses is pretty remarkable.
I've never heard you speak without you speaking about your passion for education and how important that is for you. So I wanted to ask, from the point of view of a listener to this podcast right now who's a planner, maybe 1, 3, 5 years into their business, what's something you wish you knew back then? What's something you wish you learned earlier in your career?
Work-life balance. Didn't know
Yeah.
that. Didn't even know that term for the longest time. I think because I come from the hospitality industry and I worked for many hotels, and I come from Rosewood. I come from a big service background, and there's not that many planners that have. And there's only a handful of us that come from that background, and that passion is there and that commitment level to service. So we will drop everything for our clients. And so I wish I learned that earlier on. I mean, we didn't have kids for 6 or 7 years after I started my company. So that allowed me the time to really just hit the ground running. I would suggest to any new business, new planner, new wedding business to really hustle. It is worth it in the first 5 years. You have to hustle. You got to get your name out there. You got to build relationships. So many things right now that don't cost any money, where we had to pay to be in the next bridal event. We had to make sure that we were at the Neiman Marcus Bridal Show or we were at Saks Fifth Avenue. I mean, I worked part-time when I first started my company. I worked part-time at the Saks Fifth Avenue at the Galleria. There was a
My
Vera
gosh.
Wang bridal salon. You didn't know that, did you? There was a Vera Wang bridal salon. And I, at the time, because that was the early or late 90s, early 2000s,
Yeah.
my bride that I wanted bought a Vera Wang gown. And that's where I wanted to be. And I wanted to be in that dressing room because I was going to become her best friend. And we were going to be lifelong friends and do her wedding forever. And I did.
My gosh.
I probably met my first 10 brides, my first 10 clients at the Vera Wang Bridal Salon. And I
Like,
not,
it's that black and white? You had this
yeah,
part-time job and you met your first 10 clients from that part-time
yeah.
job?
Because I mean, how else are you going
No.
to survive? You can't just do 1 or 2 weddings and make rent. You just
Yeah.
can't. So it's, I was doing a side hustle and I worked for the bridal salon. And at the time, a lot of wedding planners worked for bridal salons. They were managers, they worked for salons, and then they did weddings on the weekends. And that's just kind of what our industry was back then. That's how we met new brides. Also, get involved in your community. From the get go, I've always been involved in the Dallas Symphony Orchestra. So I would spend my time with like minded people that I wanted to help grow and help fundraise and kind of get busy in my community. I met several of my society clients because of that opportunity. And it wasn't junior league. I'm not a junior league kind of person, but if you are, I think jump in and go all 4 feet and get involved and start meeting people
Yes.
in your market. And it doesn't have to be Dallas. It could be Plano. It could be Fort Worth. It could be wherever you are. But I think just getting involved in your community speaks volumes of who you are, what you want to do with your company eventually. And my husband and I are still involved in the Dallas Symphony, and our
I
boys
love
are
that.
involved in the Dallas
I
Symphony. And
love
we
that.
bring, Young Strings is a big, which is a division or an organization that was created while we were there, and it brings strings to schools that don't have art programs and music programs, and it introduces these young kids to the symphony, and it's so cool. It's so fun, and I've volunteered my time at schools, and this is before kids. So it just, I think getting involved in your community, hitting the ground running, getting involved in your industry somehow, some way. Go do a mentorship and start learning how to build boutonnieres. That's been
Yeah.
my favorite. My favorite is, or, Dallas Affairs is right around the corner. I would go in there and I'm like, let me spread. I want to spread. I'm dying to spread. I want to make sure that this is perfect. Like, let me be a part of the process so I can learn what your side hustle is and what you're doing, so I could be a little bit more invested. And maybe working for the bridal salon help me with that, because now I understand the construction of a wedding gown and how
Yeah.
many layers are involved. And
Wow.
the personal touches that Vera Wang designed these gowns for that specific bride. And so it was very cool. And maybe that's why I'm excited about other opportunities and seeing your eye on the camera and why you capture it the way you do and understand the editing process and reminding myself when there's a cake cutting going on, I better not have a rubber band on my hand because I'm helping, or I better, like, I have to smile every time now because I'm always in the picture. Like, I'm somewhere.
Yeah.
And so it's like I know now just from seeing all the images that I get back, I'm like, oh man,
Lesson
like,
learned.
seriously, it was such a beautiful
Not going to
picture, and I
stand there
was
next
buttoning
time.
her dress, and I've got, like, all this rubber band stuff, and I
Uh,
probably have, like, some
no.
stamp from my kid on my hand, and, like, I mean, it's like, seriously, you couldn't have edited that picture before but it's like, it could have been a gorgeous shot, and my hand completely ruined it, or
Yeah.
get a manicure, because if your hand is in every shot, you're screwed. So it's like knowing those things, those after so much experience, it's like you know what shots you're gonna be in. And if you're gonna be in a shot, then you better darn look good. Like, go put some lips on and do your hair, and you better look good.
Own it and be there and be proud of how you look in that shot. Yeah.
Exactly, exactly. But I don't know. I think it kind of goes back to education and educating yourself on the people you want to work with. And it's understanding that property that you've been dying to work at and just sitting there in their space and really envisioning what you can do in that space. I always go into one of my favorite venues here is Arlington Hall. And going into Arlington Hall, I push the limits every time I'm there. How can I bring my guests in a completely different way than what you did yesterday?
Oh my gosh.
Because at the time, all of our brides were getting married there. It was so new
Yeah.
and fresh and sparkly. Same with Dallas Country Club or Brook Hollow. It's like, how can you innovate and bring your guests in completely from the golf entrance or from somewhere different so that it's the unexpected? How do you mold something into something different so that your guests are excited to come to a wedding at Arlington Hall that they've never been to?
Yeah.
It's all
It's a
about the experience.
totally custom experience. Do the venues love you or hate you when you do that?
Both.
It's like, what if
They're like,
valet's on the
They're like,
side?
"That's great, but you're gonna have to get city permits, and you're gonna have to get this and that." I'm like, "Well, when you have a client that'll do it, yeah, hell yeah, I'll get a city permit to close Turtle Creek down for 5 minutes to let our guests
Yeah.
valet park at the bottom, to stop traffic in one lane and walk up the park." Like, like it's their own property, you know?
I feel like you have to build a reputation so fast after you do that at all of those venues. They're like, oh no, she's
Yeah.
actually going to do it. Like, tell her the permit she needs, tell her the
Yeah.
doors to knock on. She's going
Yeah.
to do this crazy idea she's talking
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. I mean, we were the first to do some insane tents in Lee Park. And, you know, I'm so grateful for how they've evolved that park because it used to be so insane, leveling wise and just the paving. One of our clients paid for all the paving on the sidewalks. Like it just to finish it out. It just needed
Wow.
it. You know, the city built a beautiful park, but then it just needed to be finished.
Yeah.
So our clients, a lot of our clients paid for a lot of that.
That is mind blowing to me.
Yeah.
That is
They're part of the
unbelievable.
conservancy there. And I mean, they invested a lot in that park so
Yeah.
that they could throw a big wedding.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they invested in, I feel like I need to back up a second. They invested in the infrastructure of the park for their wedding and then were able to just leave that for people to
Uh,
enjoy now.
Yeah.
I love that. That's like such a legacy from one event that they could
Yeah.
just leave it like that. That's
It is
incredible.
huge. And I think a lot of families in Dallas want to leave their legacy in different spaces and it brings back such happy memories and
Yeah.
yeah, it's very cool.
My gosh. You have had such a monumental 25 years. The business you've built, the way you've shaped the industry, especially here in Texas. When you think of the future, are there major goals? Are there dreams? Still, you're like, oh, well, I've never gotten to be here and I'd love to do something at this place that would go like this, or a dream client. I don't know. Are there like, what does it look like for you to dream about the future at this point?
Ooh, that's a big question. That's a big bomb.
I
Well,
didn't warn you about that one. It's more fun this way.
I'm not done yet. I
No.
think that there's still a lot of celebrations to be had. I don't think that there's one of my dreams because I think I've accomplished a lot of them, but I think it's the client's dreams that keep me innovative and keep me wanting more and keep me wanting to educate myself to make it happen. I think it's their dreams, their ideas. It gets me excited to think about what's next. And
Yeah.
I feel like for the first 10 years of our business, we were always kind of behind the eight ball in regards to design and event production. Like I said, I had the first square dining room table in my house that nobody else had. And nobody had square tables in our rental houses. It was all 2 6-foot tables that we would put together to make a square. You know, we had to beg for these rental companies to build square tables.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dallas was always behind. But now I feel like we are so innovative. We have caught up with New York and LA in that regard. We rely so much on interiors and exteriors and our clients' wants and needs that it's allowed us to be as innovative, if not more. That we're setting that tone. We're setting that standard of high level of luxury quickly. And I feel like Texas is just taking off. So it's exciting to see what the next steps are for Diamond Affairs, but I feel like there's so much that I have in my head that I still need to get out. I need to get out and educate and help my industry and my market here just completely take it off. You know, just really just blow it out of the water and keep going because it's just so exciting to see my competitors completely explode with creativity and innovation. And, you know, I'm just here to support it and make, you know, I don't know. I think it's a big question and I don't know where it's going to lead me, but I think that I feel like I want to continue to educate. I feel like education is probably my next phase and then party on the side. I mean, it's like, and that's okay. I feel
Party
like
is a side hustle. Yeah.
right. I mean, my clients are just turning 40. You know, it's like think about it. Like I did their wedding right out of college. So like they're having insane 40th birthday parties. So
Oh
we
my
had a
gosh.
client that we went to the House of Blues and they got a Poison cover band and out of East Texas and they were great. And it was at the
Yes.
House of Blues. And at the last minute, she threw in a hero moment and she wanted Brett Michaels to come and perform for his birthday.
Stop.
And within 2 weeks of the event, it's like, you know what? Let's just do it.
Let's just do
So
it. Oh my
let's just do
gosh.
it. And so I had to call
And he
his
was
agent.
totally surprised.
totally surprised. And so was the Poison cover band.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. And they
Can you
came with like,
imagine?
hairband. Yeah, they were like, they had their hair wigs on and they were all like, the costumes were unbelievable. They were so good. And so at the very end, it's like you got to break it down to them. Like, okay, you're going to play a set with the real Bret Michaels. Okay. So he came and did a
Mary,
90-minute set.
you did a 90-minute set?
Yeah.
I was picturing it being like popping on for a song or two. A 90-minute
That's what I
set?
thought it would be. But he flew in on his jet from LA and it was amazing. But it's just like, but my clients, my party clients right now are turning and burning. They're calling me 4 months out, 6 months out. I have one that was like a month out that we just did, where it's like I'm turning and burning and I'm on to the next one. And
Oh
right
my
now, we're
gosh.
planning a 4-day getaway for a 50th birthday in the Grand Caymans. And they want to celebrate with 25 couples. And, the whole plan is coming to life and it's exciting. And it's just, okay,
Wow.
okay, bring it on. I'm
Wow.
good. So the fact that they're trusting me still to continue the party is so exciting. And, so I don't know where the next 5, 10 years are going to take me, even 25 years, but
Yeah.
no, I'm not going to be around that long.
You never know. Come on.
But I don't know. I don't know where it's going to take me, but I think I'm enjoying the ride right now. And it's a nice pace for me and it's allowing me to really focus on my boys that are transitioning into their next phase of life and
Yeah.
it's allowing me to be a part of these milestones that I never thought I would be a part of. So,
Yeah.
it's it's a blessing for sure. There's a reason why the universe is doing what it's doing, I think.
Oh my gosh. Well, so cool. I can't wait to see more about these parties and see what's coming next. And, I've heard you talk about a passion for education. And so excited to see where that keeps leading you. There's one thing we talked about beforehand, and that's just the level of weddings you've been a part of. Like the word luxury is kind of thrown around in a lot of different ways in the industry, but someone would be absolutely crazy to not describe what you're doing as luxury. The luxury space. What does that word mean to you? Like, what does that concept mean to you?
The concept means the level of experience,
Yeah.
meaning the experience that the guest receives should
Okay.
feel luxury. I think luxury is an experience. I don't think it's an actual tangible thing. I think it's the moment you into your car and you have an espresso shot and a Red Bull that says, get your dancing shoes on. It's got to be a long night, all the way to the end of the night and having like the best tacos you've ever had. But it's
Yeah.
really it's being thoughtful of every point to the next, the moment you arrive from the moment you leave. And even for out of town guests and making them feel appreciated for being there, it's welcoming them with these details that are so thought out and so intentional. I feel like luxury is the intentionality of the experience. It's
Yeah.
really the minute details from the espresso shot that you certainly needed in the drive to the ranch, to get yourself ready for about what's to come. And it was a long night ahead. Um, I think it's just really thinking of those small details to the larger details. And luxury, I feel like, has been blown out of proportion. And I feel like it's going away. It's going away from the experience, and it's actually blown up into stunning, amazing floral. Which, don't get me wrong, I love myself a big room of flowers. But it's not just the flowers. It's the lighting. It's the moment you create. It's the intimacy you create. Even if a room of 500 people and it's flooded in floral, the lighting has to be just right. The music and all of those details to bring that refinement. It brings that refinement that brings that luxury style and taste, and it takes away the noise of the chaos. Because sometimes there's too many details, and then it's like throw up monogram in your face and it's like a lot of color
Yeah.
and it's just too much. It's one thing I remind myself when I'm designing a wedding is what Coco Chanel said is remove a layer. Look at yourself in the mirror and remove a layer before you walk out the door. Because sometimes you just, as women, we just throw on bangles and we throw on a necklace and earrings and a hat and whatever we think. And it's, how can you take away a layer? And I feel like that's where you start building refinement. How do you take away the layers where it's you have so many things? And we've had weddings that do it. They want rugs, they want coffee tables and couches and pillows and all the things. I mean, it just keeps adding and adding and adding. And then you forget why you're there. So you forget that you spent tons of money on these curated food stations and these incredible experiences that you have when every point, every corner of the room is dressed and very overdressed.
Yeah.
And then the guest sits down. It's just it's a lot of overwhelming feelings. Like it's just a
Yeah.
lot of overloaded details. So I feel like taking away, stripping down just a few of the layers brings in that intimacy and that intentionality of the design itself.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I feel about luxury. It's like it can really go way, way over the top. And then you just kind of lose sight of the space and the gorgeous, why you picked that space in the first place.
Yeah. I never would have expected that to be your aunt. Like, it's
Oh,
so
wow.
like, it just kind of
I'm like,
points like
do we
when
need to
people talk
pause?
about luxury. No. Like I'm saying this in the best way. Like there's so much like luxury is almost, I think of like the opposite of what you're saying. Like I think of more, like I think of bigger. I think, yeah, more is like the word that comes up, whether it's in our industry where it's like, luxury means charging more, like luxury means bigger team, luxury means doing more, or like a luxury event, luxury means like spending more and more things and 5 after parties and 17 dress change, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that is kind of the luxury message that I hear pushed all the time, and I've never heard someone say luxury would be actually taking a step, like let's peel a layer off and get back to the heart of what it is we're doing and the experience, like why we're actually here. It's immediately refreshing to hear you say that.
Well, good. I strongly feel that way. I think the way we've designed weddings over the years, and there has been some over the top weddings that we've done. But when I say they're over the top, I mean it's because we flew in China from France. We're working with some vintage dealer with his gloves on, putting the charger plate on the table. Like that's over the top to me. I had to go, there was a client that wanted hot tomato soup shooter, right? With the grilled cheese, right?
Okay.
You have that
Okay. Yeah.
past. He wanted, and this was like 2 weeks before the party, he wanted Bowden double insulated. It's clear Bowden shot glasses to ensure that the soup would stay hot. And I had to call Bowden, who had a office or a warehouse in Austin, to get these shipped to us in time.
2 weeks beforehand.
And I needed 600 of them. That's the level of luxury that I'm dealing with versus
Yeah.
like we need floral in that corner. It's just so dead. There's nothing there. Or
Yeah.
we need more. We need more. We need more instruments. We need more chaos.
More. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want instruments at every turn and I want you lose the beauty of what you spent so much money on. You spent insane money on the band. You spent insane money on the caterer that you have that curated a beautiful menu for you. And yet at the end of the day, it's still about the linens and it's all about the touch and feel and the scents and making sure the candles had fragrance and that it smelled like roses when you walked in and there's so many senses going on
Yeah.
that I think it's our job as planners to really control that and be smart about it. Because if you're going to spend the money on Bowden glasses, then that better damn well be a Parmesan crusted crostini that's sticking out of the tomato soup that's made with fresh garden tomatoes from, Wolfgang Puck's garden.
Preach.
It's like the
Get on that
caliber of
soapbox.
tomato soup
Preach.
have got to bring it if I'm going to put it in this cup.
And
You know what I
600
mean? It
of
can't be. Right. It's got to be like banging soup. Like, this has got to blow everybody's mind, you
Yes.
know? Or it's got to be the Neiman Marcus consomme that everybody loves at the Zodiac Room. And that has to be like the star in that cup that I spent a ton of money on
My
because the
God.
client had to buy that.
Yeah. Mary,
So
I could listen to you talk about food all day. Like, I could hear you
but I
I could hear
love
you talk
food.
about whatever, but
I
food
love food.
and hosting and wine, I could hear you talk about that all day.
Oh, yeah, bring it on.
Okay, let's
If
start
you
you
want
a
to do a
podcast just
food
Mary
segment,
does food. Yeah.
it's definitely another love of mine is food for sure.
Oh my gosh, that's incredible. What I hear you saying a lot is luxury is pushing the intentionality through and cutting out the noise. Like I hear you talking about these other things like more florals here and more stuff here and this noise here and this thing here. And it feels like the way you're talking about it is just helping trim noise to get back to that intentionality of it, like to get back to the heart of things going on and the
Yeah,
excellence of those things.
yeah, and I think it's refinement. It's refining all of those beautiful things because there are beautiful pieces, but I think if it's just yeah, it's cutting out the noise, cutting out the chaos because I think refinement and luxury is about the experience. There's a reason why people still want to shop at Neiman Marcus is because when you're in that dressing room, you feel amazing. They treat you so well no matter where you came from. It's growing up in that mentality when Neiman's was a big part of my life growing up. I feel like it's the intentionality of serving no matter who is there, doing whatever you can to make sure that they're satisfied and that they're helpful. And I love that when you get something in Nordstrom that they'll alter it right then and there for you. They won't charge you for it. They will alter it, take care of it. You can pick it up. It's like, wait, what? They still offer that for free? That's amazing. Not everybody
That's
knows that.
incredible.
And it's like
I didn't know
it's
that.
yeah. Um, my husband buys his clothes there all the time because his,
I'm
suits get
immediately going to
tailored
start
perfectly.
shopping there. Yeah.
But, it's really just reminding yourself of the level of service that you want to provide for your guests. All of my clients, they want to pay for the experience, and it drives me crazy when they won't pay for the experience. They don't want to pay for the extra server or the extra bartender to make sure that there's no lines. And you have to remind them and educate your clients constantly about what luxury means to them. It's not just about the beautiful floral and the linens and the tabletop and all the things. It's also about the things your guests are going to walk away from. And they're going to talk about the line at the bar. It doesn't matter how beautiful the ballroom is. If the line at the bar took forever to get a drink, that's going to be the first complaint. That's the first
Yeah.
one going down.
Oh my
Second one
gosh.
is the wedding cake. If the wedding cake tasted terrible, they will talk about it.
This is incredible insight. This is so fun. What's number 3? I got to keep hearing.
Number 3 is definitely the music. It's the environment,
Okay. Yeah.
and if that music, the band is a hit, then and they're keeping people, they can read the crowd, then, then it's a great party. And it doesn't matter how long you get your drink or how long, the server's
Yeah.
picking up your drinks while everybody's dancing. That drives everybody nuts. It's really listening to your clients. I always talk to them about what they think luxury is. And if they want a luxury wedding, you really know right off the bat what kind of style of wedding they want. And really understanding how they like to entertain or how their parents like to entertain.
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. So that I know the level of expectations right off the bat of who I need to start calling to make those dreams a reality.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Can we take this a step further? Can we look at one of those luxury weddings?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we have talked luxury. I think this is a really cool, like, what a unique opportunity to sit with you and relive luxury right now. Can you tell me about this wedding? Tell me about some of the luxury pieces of it that still get you excited?
Well, I think what gets me excited about this wedding is the short time frame that we made this happen. It was at their home in Dallas. This was in the driveway of their home. The ceremony was, and then their dinner was in the living room of their home. So
Wow.
we took
Okay, so this is
everything
dinner I'm
out.
looking at here.
Yeah,
Is this
this
the
is the
ceremony?
ceremony.
Oh, what a
So this
unique ceremony setup.
Yeah, they wanted basically to get married in the middle of a party. So we
Fun.
created a club lounge as the kind of environment for them to get married in. So, and then they had an altar at the very end. So they didn't want traditional seating. They wanted the banquet seating. They wanted just this insane kind of winter white club feel. It was
Yeah,
really cool. They basically wanted to invite people to their home to celebrate their marriage and to happen to get married. And
so
they,
fun.
um, we were going to do a stage in the middle and kind of have a theater in the round moment.
Okay.
But because of the space and the way the tent had to be laid out, we had to make it very linear. So we did the ceremony in the very end.
My gosh,
Um,
so
it
cool.
was
And
very cool.
to see this and know that this is their driveway. Like this is so beautiful. And it's almost like magical. Like the word it takes a second to realize like, oh, that's the floor and it's just the cleanest mirror I've ever seen in my life. The way it's reflecting everything. I mean, it's so magical right here. This is
Yeah,
incredible.
it really was beautiful. Grow did an amazing job really curating this moment. So this was the bar that you walked into from when you valet parked. And so it was a champagne reception. So it was Renard champagne and you were given a glass of champagne and walked into the ceremony. So,
Oh my gosh.
and then butterflies was, or is the bride's favorite detail in her home and in her life and in her business. And so we brought butterflies into the wedding. So at the ceremony, they were hanging above the mirrors above and down the line of the tent. Um, and here they're hanging in the living room over the dining table.
This is over the dining table. Just can't see it in.
Yeah. And then this was their actual dining room
Okay.
that we had to increase the space because we could only fit a certain amount in the living room. So we used the dining room for overflow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Incredible. That
This is
dress.
her. Yes. Oscar de la Renta custom gown. It was amazing in person. It was so
Wow.
beautiful. Stunning bride.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
And these are her friends, her best friends that were all her bridesmaids. Just a gorgeous bride.
Stunning. Stunning.
And then this is from the front of the house, walking down the steps to go to the tent. And so they didn't have really a wedding party. So these girls helped carry her gown all the way down. And so it was six, I believe. So two and two, like they met halfway and another two would carry her gown and then
Sweet.
two at the end. Yeah, it was great. It was great. And that's her father.
This is such a sweet picture.
But the details
Beautiful.
were just beautiful and working with Grow and really creating an environment that is unforgettable there is it was just it's so special and so unique. And you can see the butterflies hanging above
Yeah.
in the ceiling.
Is this you?
And
The perfect fluff at the end before the aisle?
yes, yes,
So sweet. Look at the front. I mean, this seating I think is so fun. I haven't seen a ceremony like this before with this style
yeah,
of seating. And maybe you're like,
it,
you're just missing it. Like I do this all
yeah.
the time, but this is
No,
such a cool, unique feature.
it was really cool. Really cool to bring in so many unique vendors to pull that off too. But it's it was exciting to kind of and I think the guests were a little confused too of like where do I sit? What do I do? But we're like just find yourself a seat, meet some people and grab a glass of champagne and we're getting her down the aisle. So
Oh my
it was
gosh.
fun. Yeah.
Let's make this the norm. This is so fun.
Yeah. It was great. It
Beautiful.
was great. Very reflective. I love how the mirror really is just never ending and
Yeah.
the tent ended up being so reflective too and it was really really beautiful.
So
And then
fun. What is this moment happening?
so this is our wine sommelier who curated all the wine for the dinner,
Yes.
and he savored a bottle of champagne at the kiss. So that's Simon.
Fun.
Yeah,
I was
he
going to
has
say, I
this.
just looked, I'm like, wait, this is the ceremony. This isn't the reception. This is at
Yeah,
the
no,
kiss. He savored it.
yeah. He savored the bottle. It was
Cool.
incredible. Yeah.
My gosh. I'm immediately like, where did it was surrounded by people. Where did
Surrounded.
where did
Yeah, I mean,
the shattered glass fly to?
yeah. Yeah. What you don't see is me I'm right behind, but I had the like black towels ready to go. And so I could
Uh-huh.
clean up the mess. And I literally was on the floor cleaning up all of that so the bride didn't have to walk through all the champagne.
Oh my gosh,
So it
especially
was
on the
like me and
mirrors.
like two or three other servers, and we're like wiping the mirror down before she could walk back out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What an
Yeah.
incredible gesture of you. I wish we had that photo of you on your hands and knees, the quick
I'm
scrub down.
sure I'm sure Carter got it, but he didn't show it to me. But
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it
Stunning.
was beautiful. A lawn artist did all the entertainment and curated music all throughout. It was really amazing. And to meet a bride and groom that um, have a wide range of music they love, I think they did a really, really great job um, picking out some great music for them.
My gosh. Here's the reception piece you were talking about that we didn't see
Yeah.
earlier. Here's the wide of
It,
those butterflies.
yeah. It was
So
like a
beautiful.
cloud. Yeah. And so this is in their home. I mean, he hung all these hydrangeas and this structure from the ceiling of their living room.
And I love how I assume Grow did the lighting as well to go with it. I love how they lit this. If it's so much brighter above these, it really feels like a cloud. Like that's how the light would fall
It
with the
was
sun
beautiful.
above the clouds.
It was beautiful. Jacob and company actually lit
Oh,
the
say
wedding.
no
Yeah,
more.
the
Why am
wedding
I
and the dinner.
surprised? I should have guessed that. They
But
are
I know Nathan
artists.
guided him, guided every step of the way as well as I did. But yeah, it was beautiful. It was so well
Stunning.
lit. Yeah,
Stunning, stunning, stunning.
I know. And with the mirror, it looks like it's just a waterfall of flowers. The mirror just made it look like it's even more floral
It
than what
just
it
goes
was.
on forever.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the stairs leading down,
And then CC New
stationary.
York did all the stationery. And so these were acrylic menus that had, so when you got to the top of the stairs, you got your escort card, which was another butterfly. And it was on that gold ribbon. And it was a puzzle piece that went into the menu.
I
So
love that.
yeah,
I'm
I did too.
Whenever there's interactive, I'm all for
I,
it. I think it's
I did too. I did
such an
too.
incredible design piece.
Thank you.
It's so cool hearing that, like, I could see the images, but it's so different hearing you, like, get to relive and talk through the intentionality of it and the team that brought it together and everything. This is really fun. Thank you for doing this.
Absolutely. It was so much fun. And the entertainment, the band was actually playing on their outside patio outside the living room.
Okay.
And one by one, they came in and sang and serenaded everybody. So whether it was Sinatra or Billy Joel or some type of, it was just, it was so well done and well
Wow.
orchestrated. Just going through the next few images, you'll see the band that was curated just for the dinner. Everything was thought out from a lawn artist. It was the Project M band, and they were able to come in and out of the dinner and sing beautiful songs and serenade our guests all night. And then when dinner was over, they came in and basically turned into a full band and went crazy and really carried the night with 80s and 90s and hip hop and all the things. So it was
Oh my
great. It was a
gosh.
good momentum and good layering to create the environment that they wanted to create because they wanted good music, but they also didn't want it to overwhelm the dinner. This couple, there's me and my husband,
I was going to say, right when you say this couple, this is not the couple.
not this couple. Um, the wedding couple, they were so intentional about creating an experience for their guests that not only is unforgettable, but that they could talk. They didn't want the music
Yeah,
to overwhelm the conversation, the dinner experience, the talk, like the sommelier talked in between every course. Like,
I
this
love
is the
that.
wine you're going to have. This is why I put it with this particular dish. And really gave their guests kind of this journey, this culinary journey that was so exciting. He had the chef come out and talk about what he served for the entree. Like it was just a lot about the dinner and sitting down with everyone and just you're in our home. We want to make sure that you feel like you're in our home.
I love
So
that.
it
And
was
it
just
brings full circle what you were talking about. Like we've all been to the dinner where the music's so loud have to scream to hear the
yeah,
person next to me, or even like
yeah.
our industry's like that a lot. Like the industry events where it's hard to talk to anyone because it's so loud. Double back to when you were talking about like luxury earlier of like peeling back a layer to give the luxury experience. This is such a
And,
great example of that, like peeling back the music, peeling back the noise to
and
give the
look,
luxury experience.
it took a lot of conversations with the musicians to really have them understand what was happening because
Yeah.
it wasn't what they're used to. And it's like, okay, they have this cookie cutter timeline, but this client decided to serve 13 courses to his guests. 13 omakase style
What?
dinner. And it was amazing. It was
Oh
13
my gosh.
and it was 13 small plates. Okay, they weren't huge, but they were
Yeah.
small plates, very French, European style of service that, it it was a long night. But
My
to
gosh.
try to train the band on understanding why the dinner was gonna take 2 hours is
Yeah.
because of the 13 courses and the wine service. My client, he wanted that table full of glassware. He's like, I want people to get up and they have like 20 glasses in front of them. I want them to feel like we took care of them all night. And that was
Yeah.
like the whole goal. So like even talking to the floral, to for grow, it's like, okay, guys, I know you're gonna do this beautiful floral runner going down the table, but I don't have any room for the glassware. The groom really wants this table packed of glassware, flatware,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah.
plates, like everything. It's just gonna be packed. So I said, so this piece is going down the center has got to minimize. And he was like, wait, what? No, like, no,
Nathan
it's gotta
hasn't
be
thought
to this magnitude because he wanted to make a statement, and I
Yeah.
totally get it, and it did make a statement, but I had to make him cut it, like, a couple inches on each side because 'cause I'm like, "He picked the biggest charger. They picked the glassware, like,
Of
everything is
course.
making more room,
Always.
and that's more important to them than the flowers on the table," and he was like, "What?" It's like you have to kinda retrain the thought process. The tables came in and they weren't wide enough. So we had to
Yeah.
switch them out at the very last minute
Oh my
because it's
gosh.
like, no, no, it was supposed to be 48 inches and this is 42. And, it's like
And we're measuring like to the inch on this one because we need
we are.
20 glasses on the table.
Yeah. So at the last minute, we had to switch gears and go with the mirrored tabletop instead of something else. Or, it's like you have to make adjustments and you also have to be willing to adjust your design concept to best fit the priorities of the client.
Yeah. Wow. This is so fun because this brings to life so much of what you're saying in a way that people just don't get to like see or hear your heart and your thought process behind all of these decisions and the way you're working with designer and floral and music and lighting and all these things. Like this, getting to see this together and talk through it brings that so full circle right now. This is awesome.
Thank you, Kevin. This is really cool. It's fun to go through too and really talk about it.
When you're at a wedding like this, do you are you tasting the wines along with them?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's in the
Yeah.
contract.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
and
gonna
you
say
have
I was
to, and they want you there. They want to talk about the wine. And these were historic wines that he
these
either had
are
in his cellar or he had, they acquired for him. But the sommelier came to the tasting and he's like, you know what? I think this wine is going to go really best with this. Let me go pull it out of your cellar. And they go down to
that
the
is
cellar, they go
incredible.
pull some
That is
wines, like,
so
it was,
cool.
like, curated taste by taste, and it was so that was by far like, blowing my mind because of being, like, such a food and wine lover, it just was so exciting. So
My
exciting. A lot
gosh.
of French wine, a lot of French wine.
That is so
Yeah,
fun.
yeah, some cool pictures from that night. It evolved and, And it was such a pleasure. And when you work with people that really appreciate all those details and appreciate the work that goes into it, it's like you'll do anything for those clients, anything, whatever they need, because you get so much joy out of it too, or I do.
Yeah,
I get so much joy out of it and just seeing it all come to life and seeing all the plates come to the table and they're just stunning, and all the time and energy you spent on every course and every piece of china that goes with that specific course, and that we had to buy spoons because there weren't enough spoons at this one rental company. And then it's like you gotta really, that's what the time and energy is for making the intention in a luxury wedding. And it really is, it's not only the intention of the client, but then it's our intention of making sure it's perfected and those ideas are perfected and really using all of our local partners to make that happen. So,
incredible.
yeah, it was
Mary,
cool.
thank you so much for coming on. I feel like when you're speaking about these things, you're really putting your heart like on the table for us to enjoy. Like you're really letting us in. And I so appreciate that. I'm not surprised that you're doing it because you're so generous with your time and your experience. But thank you for doing that. It seriously means the world.
Oh, you're absolutely welcome. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Mary, I have one last question that I've been dying to ask you. What is your favorite wine? Do you have like this is my go-to, or like this is my region, or is it like, I'm feeling a kava tonight. You know what I mean? Does it just
Yeah.
change on the mood, or is it like nope, I'm loyal. This is my thing.
Do you drink wine?
I do. Yeah. So
Okay,
I knew
great.
nothing about wine. And my brother-in-law, who lives across the street from us, is a wine importer. So I married into a wine family for
Okay,
sure. So I
that's
know this much
awesome.
compared to them. I mean,
Yeah. Well, I feel like my palate has evolved over time. And
okay.
I feel like I started with loving Cabernet Sauvignon, and now I'm the Pinot snob of the world. Like I have it with sushi, I have it with barbecue. I love Pinot Noir. Probably my go-to is Sancerre. I used to love
Okay.
Sauvignon Blanc, but now I love French Sancerre because it's more of a blend of Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay. And then I always love bubbles, no matter if it's Cava, Prosecco, French,
It's never
champagne.
wrong. Bubbles
It's
are
never
never
a bad
wrong.
thing. No, no, always. And then if I'm not drinking wine, it's tequila. It's not a margarita. It is
It's like
straight up,
like a sipping
it is a
tequila.
sipping tequila, the refinement in it. I'm Mexican and I have not sipped on tequila until now. And I love it. And I love it
Something
on
just
ice
changed.
cube. Something changed. Crazy. I think it's just being an adult, and like even my coffee, I don't like as sweet anymore. So I
Yeah.
feel like I'm going away from sweet and I'm going into these beautiful places that I never expected. It's lovely to sip on.
My
So
gosh. I
I
am learning
know, I
so
know.
much
Me
about
too.
you. I'm so
I
glad I
know.
asked that.
Tequila is my jam. That's probably like when I've had a long day, I will have a glass of tequila.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's not a shot. It is like, it takes me like all through dinner and maybe to the end of dinner to finish it. But
You know it when it's a tequila day. It's nothing else
yeah,
fits
kids
there.
are off to camp. It's tequila day. So it's really, anyway, I'm adulting
gosh.
now. I'm on to tequila.
That's my kind of adulting right there. Sign me up for that. Mary, that is the podcast. It seriously means the world that you came on, and hopefully next time I'm in Dallas, we can sip some tequila and eat some good food together.
I would love that.
I say if you don't like this music, you don't be listening to it. You know I'm just a dude that you know, or something similar. If you don't keep it real, can you go somewhere but here? Cause you know we're only losing control just for a minute.
That is the podcast. Thanks for listening. What an awesome time. I know this is a long one. We went over, but sometimes it's just got to happen. What are you going to trim from that podcast? It's all too good. Thank you for sticking around. As always, if you are listening to this, if you're one of the silent listeners that I see that have not reached out to connect, please do. I would love to meet y'all. I'd love to connect with the people listening, hear suggestions, hear what I can do better, hear ideas that you have for this podcast. It's learning, it's growing, it's shifting, and it's not going to if I never hear from anybody. So please let me know what you like, let me know what you don't like, let me know what you want to hear more of. what you want to see less of, and we'll just keep this thing growing. Thanks, y'all. Have the best week.